This screencast is going to show you how the Mathematica front end helps you to move smoothly from doing work to documenting and presenting it. The work I'm going to do is a simple gallery of a few Mathematica graphics. I enter my work directly into the document interface, and the graphical results are returned also within the document. This document interface gives me many benefits, such as being able to review, edit, and repeat steps. Now, if we're going to publish this as a document, then we need more than just a collection of inputs and outputs. So I'm going to create some explanatory text at the top here. Rather than accept the default input style, which is optimized for the formatting of program content and math, I'm going to use the style text. And now, when I type, I get content which is formatted using the rules for textual input, making it much easier to read. And I'm going to do the same above this other piece of input. I pick the style of text, and I type my text in. Very often, it's important to be able to see the inputs to be able to follow a document. However, in this case, it's not important to me at all. Now, I could simply delete this piece of input, but then it would be hard for me to go back and make changes later. And if it became important to see the input later, I would have to retrieve it. Instead, I can use the cell grouping on the right that contains both the input cell and the output cell, and I can fold this up so that only the output cell is visible. The input is still there, and I can retrieve it later, but for presentational purposes, it's much tidier. Let's do that for the other input as well. Here now is a version of my document with much more content. I've added a range of graphics and explanatory text for each one. It's perfectly functional as a document, but it's starting to be a little bit hard to navigate. If I need to locate a graphic to change it, or I want to reorder things, it's hard to know where I am in the document. So as well as using the style mechanism to enter text, we can also use it to add structure to the document. I'll select the Format Style menu again, but this time I'm going to select the section style. Now when I type, not only does it tell Mathematica that I want text formatting, it's also changed the font to something appropriate for a section heading. Let's add some more headings. I'll put another here, and again I'm going to use the section style, and another here in the same style again. And it will add others throughout the document. These section headings are not just for visual appearance. They also allow us to structure the document by providing a collapsible outline where the contents of each section is hidden behind the section heading in the same way that we previously hid the input behind the output. We can open sections to see their contents, and now that we can see the structure of the document, it's easy for us to decide that if we wanted to move a section and all of its contents, we can just cut it and paste it into a different part of the document, and all of the contents moves with that section. Let's finish this document off by creating a heading, and we'll use the same mechanism as before, but this time we'll choose a title style. And this title groups the whole document together. Now that I'm happy with the structure of this document, I'm going to expand all the cells again, ready for printing, and move on to the next stage of my process, which is to prepare this material for a presentation. I'm going to open the slideshow palette, and that gives me tools for setting up presentation style slideshows. I could start a new template, but since I've already created this material, I'm just going to convert this notebook into a slideshow. It gives me a choice of where to break one slide from the next, and I'm going to break on the sections that we created. Having converted this document now, the grey bar is introduced at each point at which a new slide begins or ends. My first slides are looking a little bare, so let's add a little extra content, and I'll insert a new cell here in the subtitle style and put perhaps the presenter's name. Once I'm happy with the structure of my slideshow, I can now move into slideshow mode, and now the only slide that's visible is the current slide. As I move forward and backwards, we get a typical slideshow type presentation of the contents. But unlike other slideshow type environments, I also have dynamic content in here. So interactive graphics allow me to change their parameters, change their viewpoint, or interact with their contents. I can share this slideshow with any Mathematica user or user of Mathematica Player Pro. As well as presenting from this document, I can also convert it for use with Mathematica Player, allowing me to share it, including its interactive content, with people who do not have Mathematica. Mathematica truly is the start-to-finish environment for doing, publishing and presenting technical work.